Welcome to Holographic Health Insights, the podcast where science meets soul for complete well-being. Join hosts Reverend Anne-Marie Byers and her daughter Rochelle Generis as they explore transformative health approaches that integrate body, mind, and spirit, from energy medicine to holistic practices.
Sniffles and chronic sensitivities don't have to rule your life. There may be more holistic options than you think. In this episode, Anne-Marie and Rochelle explore how energy-based healing and integrative practices can support allergy relief naturally. Welcome back, everybody. Skip Monaco / producer back in the studio with Reverend Anne-Marie Byers and Rochelle Generis, owners of Holographic Health, Inc. Ladies, it's great to see you again. How's your week been?
Good, Skip.
Good. Busy, but good.
Busy, but good. That's good. That's good. So let's get started. Can Holographic Health help to mitigate allergy symptoms? Take it away.
Well, there are a lot of things that people can do naturally. And here in the South, we have so many people that suffer from, quote, hay fever, which includes anything from ragweed to other types of plants that really bother people certain times of the year. Usually spring and fall are the worst times. And even some people are very sensitive to dust, like animal dander and things like that. And, we don't keep the window. Some people do, but a lot of times you close up the windows. And so you have the dust in your house, or if you buy a new piece of furniture or have new carpet, you have those chemicals that are in the air. So you have all of these, pollutants inside and outside, and things that create what is called a histamine response. And that's why so many people take antihistamines. But there are a lot of things that you can do to mitigate those responses. And first of all, avoiding dairy or minimizing dairy can really help with that for a lot of people. And one substance that is really helpful for a normal histamine response is good old vitamin C. And we have Complete C, which has different forms of vitamin C in it. It also contains quercetin. And quercetin is also a substance that helps produce a normal histamine response. So a combination of the right form and forms of vitamin C and quercetin can really help the body to normalize that histamine response. It also helps support the immune system, and you can have viruses and bacteria, and when you get these responses, it can turn into something if you don't mitigate it. So, I'm one of those people with small eustachian tubes, and if I get a really bad stuffy nose and, running up, things like that, and my ears get stopped up, if I don't do something to alleviate that, I can get an ear infection. I never had them as a child, but I've had them as an adult if I don't really watch that. So another thing that we have that really helps with that histamine response is our free breath. Free breath helps to support the lungs, and it also contains quercetin and bromelain and thyme and lungwort, which is an herbal to help support the lungs. So there are some good herbal combinations out there that help with the histaminic response, to support the sinuses and the lungs, to help keep them strong, and to minimize the histamine response. We also can do holopathics, which are homeopathic type remedies that can help with, that response, called histaminium. is an old homeopathic that people have used to balance that histaminic response for a long time. So there are things like that that you can do. And, everybody knows this, the eating oranges and, tomatoes and things like that that contain good vitamin C are really good for helping support your body in that regard too. And Rochelle and I both have had a lot of issues in the past, and our families in general, with quote hay fever, allergies, etc.
Welcome to East
And we have
Tennessee.
friends who
Okay. Sorry.
yes, I mean most of us in the South do. And so finding a way to mitigate that response, helping the body to deal with it naturally, so you don't have to take so many things like antihistamines, because they do dry out the mouth and the throat. And somebody like myself who has had surgeries and struggle with a dry mouth, having to take an antihistamine is really a last resort for somebody like myself.
Gotcha.
Rochelle, do you have some comments?
Oh, sure. So, one thing I did want to touch on is that all of our practitioners who've been through our trainings are also pretty well versed in identifying or helping to identify what the root cause of this allergic response is. So, I know I've struggled with not only environmental allergens, especially mold and your various seasonal things, but also food allergies, which present differently in a lot of people. So we can really use our testing techniques that our practitioners learn in our seminars, and to really fine tune and find out what is the cause of this reaction, and also what is best going to support this body to alleviate the symptoms that you're feeling. So yes, vitamin C is huge in that. Some other things that really help just in general are hollow silver has energy signatures in it that help to alleviate symptoms related to bacteria, fungus, general viruses, but also general allergy symptoms. So another thing that we can do is that. And a thing that I really like is a zinc and elderberry vitamin to really help support the immune system, because often if our immune system is weakened from something, whatever that might be, oftentimes it could be allergies that you're fighting, then your whole immune system can be compromised and just need an extra boost. So I like to do that as well. A good really just supporting your body in the first place. And then we can fine tune and find some of these specific things that are bothering you. And we can even use that substance and create an antidote to that substance. I know my mom has a good friend who came to her, they bought this new couch. Couches are expensive, and she was allergic to something in or on this couch, and we were able to put a remedy in her specific homeopathic or holopathic that she could take to help with that. So
Wow.
We have a lot of different ways to look at it. And most of our practitioners kind of have a different way of thinking about things. So we like to also talk with each other and see what has helped. But those are just some general things that people can do.
Well,
and two,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, just one other comment, and then we'll answer questions. The same lady we were talking about was very allergic to dogs and cats. And so they had the dogs, so she brought in some of the dog hair, and we antidoted that, dog hair and dander, and found out when they moved into a new house, she was allergic to the insulation. Brought in some of that, and we put an antidote for that. And so we can put things, specific antidotes in that help with that response and keep people more comfortable, and, so that they don't have such allergies to these things. Now, that does not mean, I've had people say, well, this isn't good for me. Can you give me an antidote so I can take it? Well, why would you want to take a poison? Don't take something you're allergic to on purpose. But if it's a lifestyle thing, like you have a dog you love, you have a reaction when you're around the dog a lot, or a cat, or you moved into a new house and, there is an allergen that you need to reduce that response to, we can generally help with that.
So literally, like the old saying, you need some hair of the dog that bit you. You really, literally,
Absolutely.
wow. Well,
And that's actually how homeopathics are created. So a traditional homeopathic, they take the substance and they dilute it like 10,000 times or something, and then that's what you're taking. So you're taking the tiniest dose of that thing to help your body recognize that it's helpful in some way. So the science behind it is pretty interesting, but that's how a traditional homeopathic is made as well.
Well, that's how
Yes.
vaccines work too. I think it's just like a flu vaccine is a very minute amount of that strain of flu, I guess. But
it's the same idea. Yes.
Same concept, not the same thing, but yeah. So can emotional or energetic imbalances contribute to allergic reactions?
They can, because anything that weakens the body or the mind or the spirit weakens your whole being. So the more you keep yourself strong in body, mind, and spirit, the stronger you are in general. And, we have shown our chart before that talks about the acid alkaline chart and how both lemon and watermelon and prayer and meditation and, good food that alkalize the body, meditation, peace, etc., help keep the body, mind, and spirit strong. So doing that and keeping yourself in balance is what we're talking about, regardless of whether it's food or lifestyle or whatever you put in or on your body. And all of those things include what you're watching on television, the air you're breathing, the water you're drinking, everything that goes in and on that body. So all of these things strengthen or weaken the body. You can be around a person that weakens you terribly because they're into negativity. They're not the positive, uplifting sort that makes you just feel good to be around them. And you want to be around people and in environments that strengthen you, your faith, your outlook on life. And that's as important as eating good food.
So, wow.
Yeah, it takes me back to our episode about stress. Any kind of stress that your body is under is going to have a negative impact on your general health and well-being and your immune system too. So highly recommend listening to that episode, and I second everything that Ann said.
Good advice. Well, ladies, this is fascinating to me. I mean, obviously everything can affect immune response and allergic reactions in your environment, in your sphere, it sounds like. So incredible.
Yes. And these people that have such a sour outlook on life, everything is always wrong, and they're always sick. There's always something going on. And then the people, even if they have some difficulties in life, they breeze through them with a smile on their face because of their faith and their outlook. So outlook and, how you talk to yourself every day, all of those things are extremely important.
Awesome. Well, ladies, your insights are always insightful and fascinating to me. I learn so much on every podcast, and it opens up new ways of thinking about wellness. So thank you for that. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode of Holographic Health Insights.
Thanks so much, Skip.
Thank you, Skip.
All right. Y'all have a great weekend.
You too.
You too.
Thanks for joining us on Holographic Health Insights. If you're ready to dive deeper into transformative health approaches, visit holographichealth.com or give us a call at 800-566-1522. Remember, your journey to total well-being starts here.